Hi Robuxio traders, welcome to our new market update. This time a little bit later. Sorry, but I lost my voice a bit. But now I'm hope that everything is back so we can go over this update quickly. We will look firstly at the current situation on the market, and then I would like to go over leverage, why we are using it, what's the exposure of individual portfolio, and how we are deploying it in general. Okay, so first of all, let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is pretty interesting these days because there were few regime changes, which means that we went from very strong long trend to shorter term short dip, I would say, not trend, but we definitely got into minus 12, minus 13% correction, which is quite deep. And now we are trying to get up again. Of course, this situation, this price action is the price action where we are basically flat because the market is very indecisive. We don't know. The strategies doesn't have enough time to involve proper profits, and that's why we are very often just getting into trades. We are having open profits, and many times in this type of environment we are just giving back some of these profits. That's normal. This is how it is working because these days we are having more longer term strategies in the portfolio, and they just need more time to make money from the markets, to extract these profits. But now it almost looks like Bitcoin is trying to push up again a little bit. So let's see if we will get above this small congestion trading range and we will get above. You can also see that in last 5 days we got into a little bit lower trading range, a little bit lower ATR, which means that we are having some contraction of the range in the markets, and usually after small contractions there are expansions, and we like these periods of expansions because then market is pretty volatile and we can again make some money. But who knows? We never know, just the market will show us. What's also important to see is not just Bitcoin, but also total level index, because you can see how messy, how range bound the market was like last almost 1.5 months. Basically, we went just sideways with lower volatility. The volatility was getting lower and lower, and this is the environment where we basically are glad if we stay flat. So if we look at our portfolio performance from the last market update, we can basically see that the market, as expected, didn't give us enough opportunities to make money. We were making some money, we were losing some money, but basically we were just flat. We just have to wait for proper trends or proper movements to make money again. But what is also important to know is that, for example, we don't need only long trend environment to start making money. We also need, for example, strong short term environment. So you have to think about trading a little bit differently than about investing, because if you invest, you are making money if the market is trending up, and then you are losing money if the market is trending down. Then traders who are thinking as investors are sometimes afraid that if we lose some money in this period, in some regime change period, which is usually this period where we are losing money, then if we would continue to the downside, to some longer term short trend, we would in fact start making money in this short term environment. So this is something you have to think about and you have to be prepared of. So this is our current performance, basically flat on high risk portfolio. But the topic of the day is leverage, how we are dealing with leverage, and what it also means to you. On this chart, you can see the equity curve of a high risk portfolio. Here you can see the equity curve of medium risk portfolio. And here you can see the equity curve of low risk portfolio. What's interesting is that the dip on the low risk portfolio is of course much smaller than, for example, on high risk portfolio, because as you already know, the volatility of the lower risk portfolio is lower than of the higher risk portfolio. But the topic is leverage, why we are using leverage, and what we are doing with the leverage. Because as you know, we wouldn't need leverage, I would say 98% of the time on high risk portfolio. We wouldn't need leverage 99% of the time on medium or low risk portfolio. But we are using it. Why? Because I would like to show you on this platform the chart of exposure, because exposure is showing you how much of the percentage of your capital you are having in your open positions. So for example, here you can see that here's 100%, which means that on this threshold you are basically having all your capital allocated in the market. And you can see that you almost don't get above this 100% threshold. Just sometimes, when usually there are two types of markets when you get really heavily into the market. First is very, very strong trends. These trends like 2022, 2021, those trends where everything was trending like crazy and you just want to take advantage of it. In these times, all of the long trend strategies are fully in positions and we are using a little bit of leverage, like maximum 30% above 100, which is really, really very low. And another type of environment when we could use leverage is in these market regime changes, because even now you can see that we are in long positions and we are also in short positions, because we are getting from long regime to short regime and to long regime once again. And in this type of environment, we need to be sure that we will be in all those long positions and short positions too, to be properly hedged. And that's why in this environment we could sometimes use the leverage, but we just never know when exactly. And that's why we are using leverage in general, but it doesn't mean that we would need it. We are just using it, but we are calculating every single position like we wouldn't use leverage at all. Because if I will show you, for example, medium risk portfolio and the average exposure or usage, you can basically see then in last 4 years we didn't get above 100%. And on low risk portfolio we even didn't get above 85%. But still, we cannot be super sure that we won't need it anytime in the future. And that's why we are using it, but we are always calculating the position like we wouldn't use it at all. So we are definitely not over leveraged. You don't have to be afraid of it at all. Okay, that's basically it to today's market update. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Happy to answer everything. Have a great day and see you in 2 weeks. Bye.